Hello there, and welcome to the Super Eagles Watch podcast. New look, same show, same energy. Victor Godfrey in the company of a legend of the sport. I'm talking about, the industry, talking about sports journalism. Because when I say of the sport, you think, do I have a footballer here? No, he's not. But then again, he is the former media officer of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But then again, he is also who I consider one of the best in the game. He's a mentor of mine, a good friend. He's an Egbon, like we say here in Nigeria. I'm talking about the one and only Tony Ibitoye. Thank you so much for being a part of the Super Eagles Watch podcast today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Victor. I'm happy to be here. I mean, it feels very different from throwing in swingers from Abidjan, from Bouaké, where the Super Eagles were playing during the Nations Cup. I'm so happy to be here, and it feels very good to be with you as well. You're also a superstar.
Oh, thank you. That's high praise. It's a great honor. Talking about the Nations Cup and the Super Eagles, we saw a video online. As a matter of fact, the official Instagram handle of CAF and also on the official website of CAF, whereby you were seen just after the final of the Nations Cup comforting a certain Victor.
Oh, you saw the video?
Yes.
Wow, interesting.
It's,
I had the privilege of getting a pass to the pitch side during the Nations Cup. And I'm sure you also saw some of the videos that you took inside,
I mean,
celebrating the boys.
During
During the Nations Cup. So I had the privilege of being pitch side for all of the games, and so I was up close and personal with the boys after victories, after very difficult games, and interestingly after the loss in the final against Cote d'Ivoire. I was there and comforting the boys. They are still my guys. We are still together. Always the Super Eagles. Once a Super Eagle, always a Super Eagle.
Yes.
So
it's in our blood. You can't really do anything about it.
But that day it was a different atmosphere altogether. That final game at the Epimpe Stadium. It was the stadium. I think about 60,000
About
capacity.
60,000, yes.
I'm sure about 59,950 were Warriors in orange. We were playing against everybody. The crowd, the atmosphere was humid. The boys gave everything, but it wasn't just one of our days. We didn't have some of the best performances from some of our best players in the tournament. But when you look at the entire Nations Cup from beginning to end, we just give them kudos and commend them for what they were able to achieve. But we wanted more. We were close to it, about 20 minutes, 25 minutes to being African champions again. And then it just fell apart.
It fell apart.
What happens, we pick our lessons from it and try to bounce back.
Yeah. Hopefully we bounce back bigger, better and stronger. And talking about bouncing back, currently, Super Eagles' job, talks about the manager, is vacant. I don't know if you want to apply, I might apply as well. But we don't have a manager. And the question everybody is asking is, we have the all-important National and World Cup qualifiers for Canada, Mexico and USA 2026. And also, we have those two big games against South Africa and Benin Republic next month, or next 2 months, as you say, in June. And one is now asking the question, the interim manager, George Finidi, do we stick with him? He's a legend of the game, a Super Eagles icon, or do we look for a new manager, either local and or foreign?
Yeah, we have a manager on an interim basis. It's very different from not having a manager at all.
Okay. So, but we wouldn't have gone without having a manager. It's a Super Eagles
manager. So at least we have an interim manager. So there's somebody on the job already.
Yes.
He had the privilege of playing two friendly games. A win against Ghana, Peter Rivals, whoever beats Ghana in any game, whether friendly or not friendly, we commend and then a few days after we now lost to Mali. It was like anticlimax, but we have somebody there. I with my association with the Super Eagles for so many years, when I was with the team, even before I joined the team, and even now that I'm out of the team, I believe we have good coaches, indigenous coaches who can do the job.
Okay.
I also believe that if you get a foreign coach, they can also do the job, provided we give them solid support structure. That for me is the key.
Has that been missing in the Nigerian national team setup in the past?
In the game against Ghana, was Finidi that was the coach, and maybe the goalkeeper coach, no other support, the technical staff, no match reader, no video analyst, nobody to take statistics for you and all of that.
Wow.
So we need good, but it's not anybody's fault because he was appointed interim manager, and so not enough time for him to bring those who work with him for just 2 games. But we need that support structure. it's very key. Pesero had it. He had a match reader, he had a fitness coach, he had a video analyst, he had everybody around him, and they were all working together. Because coaching has gone scientific. It's not just one person. You have some clubs, they have a throwing coach, they have a free kick coach, they have a defensive coach. So football has gotten to that. It's broken down into different departments. So we need to get a good support structure around the coach. We need a very vibrant technical department. When the technical department should be such an efficient body that once the draws are made for a tournament, they scout all the teams in your group, prepare the dossier of your opponents, their players, their key players, their strength, their weaknesses, their records, their goals, and they make it easy for the manager and the match reader to break down how this team plays and then draw up a strategy for you to counter whatever they are bringing. So we need to put those support structures around our national teams, the Super Eagles, the Falcons, the Under-17. That structure must be there. Once you are able to put that structure in place, then whoever comes in, whether indigenous or foreign finds it a lot easier to prepare the team, play, and get a result. Look, the games we are going to play in June are very difficult games.
It's a tough game.
South Africa, you saw what they did.
We went through on penalties, to be honest.
We were lucky.
Exactly.
It was one of the toughest games that we played in that tournament. We were very lucky. Look at the chances they missed in added time. So it's not going to be an easy game at all. And then the game against Benin Republic a few days after. If you watched Benin Republic against the African champions Cote d'Ivoire in the friendly that they played in France, 2-2.
Wow.
You will know that Benin is going to be a difficult nut to crack. And the factor of Genotro is also there. The man,
he knows us all. He knows us all
he
too well.
knows how to scout and prepare for games like the Benin-Nigeria game. So we really have to put on our caps, get all the support behind the team, prepare them in the best way possible, and then we know that yes, we've done our part and watch how the team will go out there and get
So
the results.
basically, you're okay with even if it's Finidi George that are interim to
Absolutely,
go over, you just need that
support structure around him.
Okay.
The biggest problem of the indigenous coach are the Nigerian people. We don't respect and give them what they need to excel. So once you put all of these things behind the coach, the buck stops at the stable and he has to deliver.
Okay, well, this conversation still continues as we do have the legend of the game talking about the Super Eagles, former Super Eagles goalkeeper Peter Rufai, also sharing his thoughts as to who he feels should be the next manager of the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
That's a good question. Why? Because it's a question, it's a situation that needs to be weighed. See, this is not the time to develop or prepare a coach when it has to do with World Cup. One. But this is also a moment that a local coach could be appointed, but with a sound committee that knows what football is all about. A sound committee that could look into the scientific aspect and the human aspect of that individual. Who the coach is, I don't know. But a sound committee is just like when you have a doctor diagnosing a patient. So you must have a solid committee to do that. It is not a question to say because we say an indigenous coach. No. Sound committee to scrutinize and get an indigenous coach on one hand, and to get a foreign coach at the other hand. The reason of the foreign coach, we don't want any excuse. We must get to the World Cup. Now, why am I saying a foreign coach? We need calculations, the scientific concepts, assessments. You must be able to cite the opponent, you cite the group, make sure that come what may, we are qualifying. That is one. You see, it's like saying, you know, you can bring a soldier, you can bring a military man for a war. That is one. A military man will take his gun and he will shoot and he will get the target. But when you bring a sniper, you know very well that a sniper will get that job done. I don't know if you're getting the point here now, the insight of my message. So we have to get a local coach on one hand, get a foreign coach on the other hand. But that foreign coach must be a sniper. A coach that will get the job done.
Let's switch on to
The
The
EPL.
EPL, there you go.
Yeah.
The most famous league, arguably the most famous league in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say arguably, MPFL might just be close number 2.
Yeah,
We'll get
we'll
there.
get there. Yeah, be prophetic.
I'll be prepared.
Yeah, a lot of work, but it can happen.
Together. But let's focus on the relegation zone or scene in this case. Of course, the EPL had this ruling at one point where teams like Everton were deducted 10 points, but it went back to 6 after an appeal. The likes of Forest, that has 2 Nigerians, Awoni and Aina, in their ranks, who have 4 points deducted. You have teams, of course, like Luton Town, you have Burnley. More or less, you can argue and say Fulham might just be in the mix if they're not very careful. And of course, Fulham have another contingency of Nigerians in terms of, Iwobi and Basi. Let's focus on Fulham for a minute. Last time out, they lost to Forest. And Iwobi was subbed off in the first half, which was like, what? Marco Silva just said, no, I don't need him here. So we can have conversations about that, but can Fulham, with the Nigerian players playing a vital role in that team, can they turn things around and have a very good finish this season?
Fulham is like 2.5 Nigerians. We have Iwobi, we have Basi, we have Adarabioyo, Tosin.
Well, has he said he wants to play for the Super Eagles?
Anyway, that name is Nigerian.
No, I mean, no, it's like,
Tosin Adarabioyo.
Ross Barkley is Nigerian.
Well,
Believe it or not,
for Ross Barkley is not a Nigerian name. But this one is clearly, and he has always shown a lot for the Super Eagles anyway. But
Well,
whether he makes the switch or not is a different.
Speaking of which, you even have the colours of Fulham, by the way.
Oh, yeah, right.
Design of your shirt.
And yours is the color of Nottingham Forest, maybe. Black and red. Anyway, but the good thing is, I think Fulham, as you said, need to be very careful.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't drop results. This is the
running, last 8 games.
the final lap of the season. So they shouldn't drop. They shouldn't be careless. They shouldn't drop games. They should maintain the momentum and continue to pick wins and continue to play well. Iwobi didn't have a good game the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the coach felt he needed a different type of player. And these coaches know that, look, we have to make this switch very quickly. Who do I bring out to infuse the kind of player that will probably change the game for me? And Iwobi was the guy to
scapegoat, unfortunately.
Yeah. Basi has also been very solid.
Mm-hmm.
The two of them have given, since returning from the Nations Cup, I think both of them have played with some renewed kind of energy, African energy. Like we saw when they defeated Manchester United, pushing, fighting.
Yeah, they actually scored, both of them scored.
Both of them scored in the game.
Old Trafford too as well.
Yeah,
So
it was a remarkable win, remarkable game. So yeah, it's good. I don't think there will be any problem if they keep the momentum going. And I believe that Fulham will be safe.
Okay.
But I mean, the two Nigerians have really impacted on Fulham this season, and I'm sure it will continue for a long time.
Now on the other end, we have Forest with Awoni and Aina. We wouldn't want to have our best players in the championship. No offense to the EFL championship, but we're expecting Leicester to come up with Ndidi and Iheanacho.
Yeah.
So we would love to have our players playing in the top leagues.
Absolutely.
So
it's better for us, for the Super Eagles,
exactly.
that these guys are playing top level football.
But Forest now have that 4 point deduction. There are no rulings yet. There's an appeal, so it can be reversed. It could still be permanent depending, and that could play a vital role in terms of safety or relegation.
Absolutely. And unlike Fulham, where Basi and Iwobi are regulars and are playing, it's not the same for Nottingham. I know he's injured. Brought the injury, I think, from the Nations Cup, and Awoni has also been in and out of injuries. Missed the Nations Cup because of injuries. Returned and got back in. So I'm really so sorry for Awoni, because last season it was good. His goals kept the team up, and probably they've been planning that, look, his goals will get us up again, keep us up again in the new season. And now he's spent a lot of the time in the treatment room. I hope he recovers very quickly and plays his role in the running and scores goals and help the club to stay up. And I know as well, he was one of our best players at the Nations Cup. I hope he gets back and plays his role in helping Nottingham to also survive the drop and then stay in the Premier League. We need our best players, as you said, to play at the top level. It helps us.
It does help us indeed. We'll be looking out for, of course, the Super Eagles of Nigeria representing us across the top 5 leagues and in fact every league in the world. Of course, this is the Super Eagles Watch podcast. Now, on the final note, very, very briefly, the Super Eagles of Nigeria are ranked number 30 in the world according to the new FIFA rankings.
Top 30.
Top 30 in the world and number 3 in Africa. Before the Nations Cup, we were ranked 6th in Africa and we were number 42 in the world. Now, that's a massive jump. Question now.
Sorry.
Sorry. We are sorry, not back to the top. But the question now is, do you believe this generation of Super Eagles player, like you have a man behind you, that's Rashidi Yakini, was part of the golden generation. Do you think that this team can replicate or even surpass what our best have done? And that was far back in the 90s.
That was a long time ago, and that time the rankings was newly introduced.
Yeah.
And they were number 5.
Which was remarkable, by the way, the highest by any African team.
Highest ever. It will take a lot of work, a lot of consistency. You know, that 94 team went so many years, ups and downs, and stayed for a long time, and even kept us for many years after 94.
Yes.
Up to 2000, 2002.
2002 officially was the end of the golden generation.
We're still playing, yeah. So, yeah, we have a lot, we have a lot of young players, excellent players, that if we keep them together, work hard like we saw during the Nations Cup, let them improve together as a team, could surprise the world and stay on top for a long while. But it depends on what we are going to do, and that starts with our games in June, the Nations Cup qualifiers, the World Cup qualifiers, qualifying for international competitions, winning major international competitions, doing well, making impact on the global stage. But we can do it. I believe we can do it. If Morocco could get into the top 10 after the World Cup, who says Nigeria cannot? We have the talent. We just need a little bit of consistency, organization, luck, maybe excel ourselves, put ourselves into it, and give it everything that we have. I think we can produce a team that will make us forget a little bit of the 1994-96 era.
All right, now many thanks to the icon himself, Tony Ibito, for being a part of our show today. Now remember, this conversation doesn't end here. You can be a part of this on social media: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X. 2 things you need to do. First things first is either follow and subscribe, and then be a part of the conversation. 3 topics: who should be our new manager? How far can the Nigerian contingent help teams in the EPL fighting for survival? And better still, can we maintain this momentum of being the 3rd best team in Africa? I say this all the time. From us here at the Super Eagles Watch podcast, be good, be safe, keep supporting the Super Eagles. It is bye from us and bye for now. See you next time.